So this is my last Sunday before sabbatical. I feel a little bit verklempt because I'm excited about having some time to renew my own spirit, and I know how much I'm going to miss you all. We've been talking for the last several weeks about the 12 steps and how they apply to any spiritual life, whether or not you have a named addiction. I say a named addiction because we're all addicted to something, whether it's TV or donuts or reading or gossiping. We're all addicted to something. We all have something that we go to try to comfort ourselves that is not spirit. Anything that we go to try to comfort ourselves that is not spirit, that is not God, that is not that one love, it's not going to work. And what we do in this world is when it doesn't work, we think, more. I need more donuts. I need more TV. I need to binge watch. Whatever it is, more, I want more. And the more doesn't work until we realize that the only more we need is love, which we already have inside us. And so it is all about allowing that love to flow, allowing ourselves to realize that nothing else, in the face of love, nothing else has any real power. Love is that most powerful of things. So as we finished up the 12 steps themselves last week, I wanted to talk about the prayer that's a very, very important prayer in the 12-step program. The St. Francis prayer is very important as well. It's used a lot in 12 steps. But there's also this, what we call the Serenity prayer. And it's really part of a longer prayer, which I don't like most of the rest of it. But this little phrase is awesome. God, Spirit, whatever your name for God, higher self, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. There's a lot in that prayer. Serenity. What does serenity mean? It means to me a quiet mind. Grant me the serenity. Allow me to quiet my mind to the point that I can accept what I cannot change. There are so many things in this life that we can't do anything about. And when we spend our energy and give up our serenity, give up our personal peace in order to worry about those things that we can't do anything about, we have misdirected our energy. We have opportunities to use the energy of love, and we're using the energy of worry instead. I know this very well because I do it all the time, especially lately. I thought, here I am worrying again. Is there anything I can do about this? Nothing I can do about it, but sometimes wait. Nothing I can do about it, but allow what is supposed to happen, and then respond to that appropriately. Nothing I can do about it, but be a beacon of love in the world to the extent that I can be. And that doesn't mean I have to stand up in front of the world and be a beacon of love. It means in my house, a beacon of love, in my neighborhood, a beacon of love, in the grocery store, a beacon of love, and yes, in my car, even on Central Expressway, to be a beacon of love. You can be love wherever you are, but we don't allow ourselves to be that love when we are in non-acceptance of the way things are. That's what the whole Buddhist religion is based upon, is that there is a way that things are, and we cause ourselves constant pain, suffering, because we fight against what is. We fight against what is. And so God, grant me the serenity, allow the peace in my mind that will let me accept what I cannot change. It doesn't mean I condone it. It doesn't mean I like it. It just means I admit that I'm powerless over it. And just like in the 12 steps, that's step 1, admit I'm powerless over it. And step 2, that there is a higher power who is not powerless. That is not powerless. My higher power I call love. That's my favorite word for God, is love. And so I can accept that of my human self, I can't do anything. But if I show up as love, nothing but good can happen from that. Nothing but good can happen from that. A quiet mind equals an ability to accept. And an ability to accept equals a quiet mind. So sometimes the chicken comes first and sometimes the egg. It doesn't matter where you break into that cycle as long as you break in. For me, it's often asking the question, is there anything that is mine to do about this right now? And if there is, I get to do it. And if there's not, I get to go to a place of acceptance. If I can truly convince myself there's nothing I can do about that right now. And I can go in prayer and say, what is mine to do? Let me be shown if there is something for me to do. I want to do it. Let me be shown what that is. And that happens in serenity as well. The serenity to accept what? The things I cannot change. I cannot change. It doesn't mean they can't change. It doesn't mean they won't change. It means I don't have the personal power to change. And guess what we cannot change? We cannot change the world of effects. What's out there already had its origin in thought, in divine mind, and it's already out there on the screen. So anything that's going to change has to be changed on the film or from the projector, not on the screen, right? So all of that I see out there can't be changed. What can I change? I'm the projector. I'm the projector who projects the thoughts that I call other people, that I call places, that I call problems. I'm projecting that. So I can change at the projector. But you know what it takes in order to change? Lots of courage. It is so much more comfortable to complain about it and worry about it. My dear friend and mentor, Reverend Christopher Chenoweth, used to say, you know, worrying is praying for what you don't want. I hear his voice in my head. Yes, I'm doing it. Yes, Chris, I know. I'm praying for what I don't want by worrying about this. So it takes courage. It takes courage. And here is, courage is maybe the most important trait on the spiritual path. If you're going to pray for something, pray for courage, because you're going to need it. As a human being, dang, you're going to need it. You're going to need it. Courage means the quality of being ready and willing to face situations involving danger or pain. Being ready and willing to face situations involving danger or pain. Guess what? Some situations don't actually involve pain, but we're just afraid they will. And so we never confront them. And so we live with the results of something that is not for our good, that we don't want. But if we don't get the courage to say, wait a minute, this is what this is it something I can change? Because if we don't know what it is, it's definitely not something we can change. It doesn't mean it's not changeable by us. It means we can't change it if we're not aware. So it takes courage to be aware. It takes courage to pull yourself out of denial and go, here's what's really going on. I don't like it. I wish it wasn't, but here's what's really going on at this moment. Because the next moment can change. It's not about hopelessness at all. Courage. Courage also means strength in the face of pain or grief. Strength in the face of pain or grief. I want to be courageous. I want to be strong in the face of whatever is mine to face. Nobody else is going to face my life for me. Only I can do that. And so I want the courage to be able to face it. And courage as willingness, as strength to do hard things for a greater purpose. Right? Not just to do hard things for the sake of doing hard things, but to do hard things for a greater purpose, to do hard things to grow my soul, to do hard things to help you grow your soul, perhaps. My favorite definition of love is in M. Scott Peck's book, The Road Less Traveled. He said, true love is being willing to extend yourself for the good of another. That means get out of your comfort zone, which takes courage. Extend yourself because you know that extending yourself could create some good for yourself or another. We have to extend ourselves for ourselves. Our spiritual growth is as important as anyone else. So we extend ourselves. Courage as willingness, as strength to do hard things for a greater purpose. And here's the other courage that's in this prayer. The courage to not do what's not mine to do. I'm not as good at that. The courage to not tell somebody, this is what you need to do. I can see so clearly what's wrong with your life, and if you would just do what I tell you to do, you would be okay. Y'all, that's my addiction. Because I was blessed with just knowing what's right for everyone. And if the whole world would just listen to me, y'all would be in such great shape, you have no idea. And we laugh about that. I laugh about that, but there is something in me that's my default position. I immediately think I know, and so it's taken me a lot of work and a lot of courage to go, or you don't, because it's not your life. It's not your path. And I can't tell you the number of times there's been somebody in my life that I really wanted to change. I really knew what they needed to do. And it took a lot of pain. It caused a lot of pain and took a lot of courage to watch them cause themselves pain. And yet out of that pain is exactly when bloomed this beautiful growth of spirit. And who am I to step into someone else's life and say, you don't need your own growth of spirit. You don't need your own path to get there. Let me give you the shortcut because I know all, right? No, I'm not God. God is in me, but I'm not the whole shebang, right? I have to remind myself of that, and it takes courage. It takes courage to not do what is not ours to do. It takes courage not to enable another to keep doing what harms them by supporting them in what harms them. To stop enabling someone, to stop being their prop, takes a lot of courage, especially if you like to please people and they're going to be not pleased with you if you stop propping them up. It takes courage to not do what's not ours to do. Serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Courage to change the things I can. And change means to make someone or something different, to alter or modify. Can I make another human being different? Nope, I can't. Should I try? Nope. Not my business. I used to, when I taught school at Kennedale High School, we had a sign in the choir room up on the wall, and it says, never try to teach a pig to sing. It frustrates you and annoys the pig. Right? Pigs are not meant to sing, and you spend your lifetime trying to make a pig sing, you're going to have a mad pig and a frustrated you. So, if that image helps you at all, oh, pig, sing. No, not mine to do. Change means to become different, to be altered or modified. That's what we have the power to do, not to change something out there, but to allow ourselves to be changed by the love that we are, to be changed by the courage that we're willing to embody. Change. It also means to replace something with something else. And usually the something else needs to be newer or better. So we can change in whatever direction, but are we changing in the direction of growth? Because we're not going to change in the direction of perfection. Or I'm not in this lifetime. If you are, that's your path, and it's none of my business, and yay for you. But I'm not changing in the direction of perfection, but I can certainly change in the direction of growth. I can. Courage to change the things I can. My attitude, my outlook, my thoughts. I'm the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. My thoughts, my words. I can change my words. If I catch myself using negative words, I can stop and say, whoa, 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 whoa. What can I replace that with? Do I have the courage to change that? And my actions, I can change. Thoughts, words, and actions all feed off of each other. Again, it's a chicken and egg thing. Sometimes you can act differently, and that will eventually change your thoughts, which will allow you to speak differently. Sometimes you can speak differently, which will eventually help you change your actions, which will change your thoughts. Sometimes you can catch a thought and think differently and know that your words and your actions will stem from that, and they will be different. They will be changed. But any place you can break into the cycle is worthy, but it takes some courage. I can change the things I can. And finally, the wisdom to know the difference. Wisdom means the quality of having experience, knowledge, good judgment. Well, I think experience is one of the words that's really important there, because often we are not born with good judgment. But experience will give us some good judgment over time. Wisdom to know the difference. Wisdom to know what's mine and what's not mine. We talked about 3 kinds of business in the world. My business, I can change that. Your business, none of my business. God's business, none of my business. And yet what I know is when I change my business, then my relationship with you changes. Without you having to change at all, my relationship with you changes. When I change who I am, I see the world differently, even without the world changing. It works, I'm telling you. This is a practice that I've had for many, many, many years. If I start feeling that I'm angry with the person and justified for being angry with the person because what they're doing is so wrong and I just can't get it out of my head, my assignment for myself is I pray for them every day for 30 days, and this is my prayer. Dear God, every good and lovely thing that I want for myself in this life, I now ask you to give this person. Really? But if you think it through, what do I want in my life? I want love, I want peace, I want joy. And whatever's making me mad that this person is doing, it's going to be a lack of love and peace and joy that causes them to do it. So don't change what they're doing. Pray for them to know the love that they are. Pray for them to have the peace that passes understanding. Pray for them to experience joy, because when you experience joy, it's a real contrast to the rest of your life when you're not experiencing joy. And you might decide that you want to experience more joy, but you have to have the experience of it in the first place. The wisdom to know the difference. There is courage. There's also bravado. I can do that. I know exactly what's going on here, and I can fix it. That's not courage. Even if you step into flames in order to fix it, that's not courage, that's bravado. Sometimes courage, what we think of as courage, is actually hubris. Us completely overstepping our place, thinking that we have a power that we don't personally have. Getting into business that is not ours. 3 kinds of business: God's, yours, mine. And as I leave on this sabbatical, I have a couple things I want to share with you. First of all, it's taking courage for me to leave. And I've thought about, what does it take courage? Why does it take courage to just step away for a while? And how can I bolster that courage? I trust that there is no private good, and that what is good for me is good for the people in my life. And so I trust that even as I'm renewed, you will get something from the people who are here in my place that you would not have gotten from me or any other way. And so I highly encourage you to keep the habit of coming to church, because I have no doubt at all that you will be blessed every single Sunday. Every single Sunday. Yes, yeah. Every single Sunday there is something. I encourage you to look for the pearl, or you might get a whole pearl necklace, but look for the pearl. Don't go there. The courage to trust you. I trust you. I trust you to love yourselves enough to keep working, extending yourself for your own good and for the good of this community. I trust me. Maybe not as much. I trust me to love myself enough to really do what is necessary for me to renew my spirit. And in this spirit of renewing my spirit, I was going through some paperwork of mine from seminary. And this is my statement and vow of ministry that I made in 2016. If I am to be a minister anywhere, I must be a minister everywhere. Therefore, I continue to deepen my own soul's growth through dedicated spiritual practice so that I may be of service in the world. I will strive always to see God in every face and to bring compassion, empathy, and an accepting, listening presence into my everyday and business activities, as well as my family and social life, so that I may be in balance and integrity. In the formal vow of ministry I made at my ordination was this, and it is still the absolute truth. I, Reverend Melinda Wood Allen, do solemnly and joyfully promise to see the wholeness in every human being, to honor every path to the divine, to love God by loving people and revering nature, to remember that minister is an action, not a title. To be thankful, generous, mindful, honest, and humble, and to follow Spirit's call wherever it leads. I've followed Spirit's call to some weird places, and it's taken some courage, but it brought me here. It is an honor to serve you. I will be back before you know it. Please know it's no compliment to me if you don't come because I'm not here. Showing your support for all the church activities during my absence is really the best way that you can support me. Knowing this ministry goes on because it's an important ministry, not because of me in any way, is the best gift that you can give me in my absence. So, I have a goodbye song for you. I'm going to ask you to just get quiet for a minute. I'm going to lead you in meditation, and we'll go into the song from that. We are all breathing the same air. Aren't we lucky to have found one another in this place? Whether it's your first time here or your 1,000th time here, we are holding you in love. And whether or not you ever come back, We are holding love for you. We are knowing that love is the truth of who you are. And nothing can change that. And so we simply allow the peace that passes understanding. Allow the peace that comes when we lay down the burdens that were never ours to carry. Allow the peace that comes when we know that we will have the courage to do what is ours to do, and that we're not called upon to do anything that is not ours. Allow this peace, this serenity, as you take in this prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Courage to change the things I can. And wisdom to know the difference.